presentation of CNH Sports.
From Wilmington, Delaware, it's varsity game night. This week, the Sals of Salesianum take on the Spartans of St. Marks. Good evening and welcome to Baynard Stadium. Steve Degler along with Kevin Riley. And Kevin, in college football, you've got great rivalries. USC against UCLA, Harvard and Yale, Lehigh and Lafayette. Even in high school, you have Easton, Pennsylvania and Phillipsburg, New Jersey, who played 100 times. But here in the Blue Hen State, it doesn't get any bigger than the Sals and the Spartans.
Steve, this is bigger than that. It's more than a football game. It's a big event. We'll have 6,000 to 7,000 people here, and it's really for the bragging rights of Northern Delaware for these high school kids.
In terms of playoffs, St. Marks, slim chances of making the postseason. Salesianum just about in. They still can find their way out if they don't win this game tonight. So it's important for both sides. And each team has loads and loads of talent. St. Marks likes to do a lot of damage through the air, and that's because it has a great receiver in Jamie Hagan.
Jamie Hagan was all-state last year. You see the kind of athleticism right there, one-hand catch in practice. If they're going to win the game tonight, he's got to be the man. 33 receptions, 6 touchdowns. He's the guy, the go-to guy for the Spartans tonight.
On the other side, a different approach for the Sals. They like to keep the ball on the ground, very few passes, and that's because they have a workhorse in the backfield in Sal Viscount.
Oh, he is a workhorse. He can carry the ball 31 to 41 times. He also plays defense. Look at these numbers. 1,366 yards, 13 touchdowns for a career, 4,300 yards, 43 touchdowns. He's the guy that's going to carry the ball probably 35, maybe 38 times tonight.
And he was the offensive player of the year in Delaware as a junior last season. It's the Sals and the Spartans. This rivalry renewed. We'll have the opening kickoff from Baynard Stadium right after this.
K&G wants you to look your best this holiday season. So right now, you'll find select men's suits, 2 for just $150, and select designer label suits, 2 for just $300. Celebrate in style with K&G. K&G Fashion Superstore. For men, for women, for less. K&G wants you to look your best this holiday season. So right now, you'll find select lady suits, 2 for just $90, and select designer label suits, 2 for just $180. Celebrate in style with K&G. K&G Fashion Superstore. For men, for women, for less.
We went around swapping people's vehicles for 1 week. We didn't tell them we were from Ford. We told them it was market research.
I swapped my Toyota Camry for the Ford Fusion for a week. The way the car handles, there's definitely some pickup to it. I haven't felt it switch gears once. It's been so smooth. It's fun. I mean, it's a very fun car to drive. The quality of the drive is so good.
Now, sign and drive. Lease an 08 Fusion for just $245 a month with 0 due-it signing, 0 first month's payment, and 0 security deposit at your Quality Plus Ford dealers.
If your organization is seeking a speaker who can inspire, motivate, enlighten, and entertain an audience, Kevin will...
If you think you're beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win but you think you can't, it's almost a cinch that you won't. Corporate careers won't last 25 to 30 years anymore. How do you motivate today's employees? They told me I'd never be able to jog in a race again. I finished 5 half marathons and 1 full marathon. Guess what? The experts can be wrong.
Tonight's game is brought to you by West German BMW. Experience, quality, trust. Back in Wilmington, Delaware, a crisp evening. 42 degrees, light wind, cloudy and cold conditions for Salesianum against St. Marks. Bill DiNardo has done an outstanding job with the Sals. His 4th season, 37-8, back-to-back state titles. What are their keys to victory tonight, Kevin?
Well, the number one thing that they've got to do is really make sure they stop Jamie Hagan. He's their wide receiver. They stop him. They got a good shot at this game. Control the Spartan special teams. They're real good with the kick-ins. And give Sal Viscount the ball 30 times tonight. He is your number 1 weapon.
On the other side, the head coach of St. Marks is John Wilson, 19-13 in his 3rd season. And what are the keys tonight for the Spartans to walk away with a victory?
Well, the Spartans really got to make sure that, number one, they contain Viscount. And if I was them, I would put number 52, one of my favorite numbers, Corey Olson, on him as a spy. They got to win the turnover battle. They've got to get a turnover or two tonight in order to be in the ball game. And special teams have to make a play for them. And they are capable of making plays because St. Marks has the better special teams between these two clubs.
This rivalry started in 1972, their last meeting in the state semifinals last year. The first time they met in the postseason, and the Sal's won 14-10. They have won 4 straight in the series and leading all time by a pretty wide margin. This has been the Sal's rivalry over the last 15 or so years.
And you can see right there the emotion that's on this field. The Salesianum team, because they're right across the street, dressed their JV team tonight. 102 guys are dressed for the game. St.Marks brought 52 up from Newark, but guess what? They can only play 11 at a time, Steve, on the field, and it's going to be a battle.
St. Marks is the home team for this battle. And the Spartans will be wearing their green uniforms with the yellow pants. Salesianum will be in the white jerseys with the gold pants. And as we mentioned in the open, there are some playoff implications. Bill DiNardo was telling us there is a scenario where if the Sal's lose tonight, they can fall out of playoff contention. However, on the other side, St. Marks, even with a win, not necessarily guaranteed to be playing again next week.
No, both teams, have a little bit of a control of their destiny with a win tonight. Without a win, neither team really controls their destiny. Salesianum may still be in it if they lose tonight, but they don't control it. St. Marks, if they lose, they're absolutely out, but they do have a shot.
And the thing with the Sal's is if they win, they can improve their standing. They can move to the 4 seed perhaps with a victory tonight. So in addition to all the hype and hoopla around the rivalry, it's a very important game with postseason implications.
And Salesianum has won the toss. They'll be kicking off. And Steve, you said it's St. Marks' home field. Well, it's also Salesianum's home field. It's only home field on paper. These two teams play here as their home games.
That is Jamie Hagan on the right, Kyle Sullivan, who does just about everything for the Spartans. They are the return men. As Salesianum will kick off and move from left to right here in the first quarter, and teeing it up is Dan Tryon, a 5'9", 170-pound junior.
Tryon's done a good job for kicking for the Sal's this year. He's also capable of hitting field goals. His range is about 30 yards out.
Sal's lead the all-time series 24-12, and again they have won the last 4. St. Marks not victorious in this battle since 2003. And we are underway in Wilmington. This will be Sullivan at the 5. Kyle Sullivan, a big hole up the middle. Out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. That is where the Spartans will have it. 1st and 10. And the quarterback for St. Marks is Brandon Baker. He has been a starter since week 3 of the season. Baker, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore, 58 for 114 for just over 800 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he's also scored twice on the ground so far this season. Baker will come out with a slot left, single receiver to the right. And some movement along the right side of the line of scrimmage. And this will cost the Spartans 5. It'll be 1st and 15. Back at the 22-yard line, our referee tonight is Ed Jackson.
Not unusual to see that in this game because the emotions are so high.
Ball the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Kevin Riley doing double duty tonight as color commentator and line judge. And you're right, the emotions, but as a coach, you're into week number 10 of the season. You hope those things don't happen on the first play from scrimmage. Now Baker will work out of the shotgun. He hands off to Sullivan, who mishandles on the exchange, and fortunate to get it back as Pat Malarkey applying the pressure. It'll be 2nd down and long for the Spartans.
St. Marks having some nervous jitters here. This is a speed sweep using Sullivan, and he just took his eye off the handoff, and that could have been a disaster for the Spartans.
Loss of 4 more brings up a 2nd down and 19 back at the 18-yard line. Single setback again. It is Rob DeMacy, number 5, a very talented tailback. And again, flags before the snap. It's going to be 2nd and 24 as again the Spartans started early.
Spartans are really digging a hole for themselves here. It's one thing to be nervous, but Steve, as you said, here we go.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
You know, this is something you just don't expect this far into the season. I know that these guys have been ready to play for the last hour, but you've got to get yourself under control here offensively.
Now, St. Marks does have a fairly young team, only 10 seniors, so for a lot of guys, this is a little bit of a new experience to play in an environment like this. Meanwhile, Salesianum, a lot of experience on the roster. Baker rolling, looking for a block, sheds one tackler, and he is across the 15 to the 17. It's going to be 3rd down and long for the Spartans offense. DeMacy and Beatty will be in the backfield. Hagan and Sullivan, along with McKeefrey, the 3 wide receivers, Trzynski, Aviola, Olson, Cruz, and Matt Maloney, the 5 up front for the Spartans.
Corey Olson, the center, does double time as their middle linebacker, and he's a good one.
3rd down and 20 at the 17-yard line. Two receivers to the left as Baker again will work out of the shotgun. Swings it out to DeMacy. DeMacy through one tackle, cannot get through the second. Sean Barker makes the stop just shy of the 20-yard line, a gain of a yard. It's 4th and 19.
Jamie Hagan was spread wide that time. They put 2 defenders on him, so he wasn't open. They went to the, you can see right here, they went to the check down guy, but he wasn't open either. Good play by the Salesianum defense, and now St. Marks will be punting.
Kyle Sullivan averaging 39 yards a punt. High spiral, good kick. Viscount sent back inside his 40 where he mishandles. Now he'll look for some running room, and there's not a whole lot. Excellent job on special teams by Sullivan with a booming punt right down the middle of the field. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sals at their own 36-yard line. Their quarterback, number 16, Bridie Breidenbach, a 6'3", 160-pound junior. Those are the correct numbers. 9 games, just 17 for 45. But out of those 17 completions, 4 touchdowns, 344 yards on the season.
And don't let Bridie fool you. He can throw the football when he has to.
Sal's threw 3 times last week, completed 2, and both went for touchdowns. Viscount straight ahead, picks up a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Sal's offense. Viscount and Ferranti, very good combination in the backfield. Kavanaugh and Ware, the wide receivers. Bonadio is the tight end. Schlotterbach, Schieffer, Marcini, Burcham, and Manos, a solid offensive line for the Sals.
And you'll see a lot of times them going over Schaefer and Marcini, 2 really stalwarts on that offensive line for the Sals.
Viscount averaging 7 yards per carry. Got 3 on 1st down. This is Ferranti, the fullback. Pretty good job by the Spartans across the 40 to the 41. 3rd and about 5. 3 men up front for the Sals, Flanagan, Bishop, and Kemsky. The 4 backers, Aviola, Beatty, Corey Olson, the leading tackler, and Ryan McCallan. Hagan and McKeefrey are the corners. The quarterback, Baker, also the strong safety. The free safety is Joe Drain. Olson, 103 tackles on the season, averaging better than 11 per game. 3rd and 5. Viscount will have the 1st down as he backpedals his way to the 50-yard line, a pickup of 9, and the Sal's able to move the sticks.
This where Sal's really dangerous. He gets up ahead of steam. He's got 185 pounds, heavier than he was last year. He's able to roll over some people, but his key element there is you watch on this second replay, watch how he keeps his feet moving after the initial hit. Keeps them moving, probably picks up an extra 3 yards because of that.
Last year, over 2,000 yards on the ground as the Sals went 12-0 to win their 2nd straight state championship. Right at midfield, 1st and 10 for Salesianum. Ferranti, the fullback, He is hit immediately by Matt Beatty, the 5'9" senior linebacker. Pickup of 2 into St. Marks territory at the 48-yard line. 2nd down and 8 for the Sal's.
Ferrante's a sophomore, dressed as a freshman, got a little playing time last year, put on 15 pounds. He works as a mason with his father and grandfather during the summer months, put on some muscle, and he's been a nice alternative to Sal Viscount in the Sal's backfield.
And not too shabby, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. He has scored 4 touchdowns so far this season. Again, he is the fullback. Toss sweep to the left this time for Viscount. Runs into his own man, then gets hit and dropped at the 45-yard line. Colin McKeefrey in on the stop. Pickup of 3. It's 3rd and 5.
He did run into his own man. It was Andrew Schieffer, and Schieffer was out there trying to make a block. And I'll tell you, for a guard, Schieffer is really quick. But that time he got a little bit in Sal Viscount's way. You'll see the play right here. Watch the pulling guard. Schieffer's out there in front of him. Makes a great block on Olsen, but just gets in Sal's way a little bit to stop him from making the first down.
Sal's converted a 3rd and 5. Just a moment ago, same situation here. Ware in motion, handoff to Viscount. He will not get the first down, but it could be 4-down territory. Jason Aviola, the 5'10" senior linebacker, makes the stop at the 42-yard line. It's 4th and about 2.5.
Just a power dive right here. St. Marks does a great job of playing it off. I wouldn't be surprised at this point that they've got a spy on number 2, Sal Viscount. The Sal's are going to go for it.
They need to get right on the 40-yard line to move the chains. Tight formation, Ware again in motion. It's Viscount again, and he will have the first down to the 37-yard line, a pickup of 5. So they've converted a 3rd and 5 and a 4th and 2.
Sal's put on about 10 pounds from last year, and you can see it in his power running right here. He gets that pad level low, drives ahead, knows where the first down marker is. Some will say in the beginning of this season that poundage took a little bit away from his speed that we saw last year, but last week against Interboro, he seemed to get that back.
1st and 10 Sal's at the St. Marks 37-yard line. Quick count. Ferrante, the fullback, gets the carry. And he has a good pickup on first down inside the 30 to the 27. It'll bring up 2nd down and short.
Giovanni Ferrante, 5'10", 185 pounds. And I'll tell you what, if he gets loose, watch this right here. Nice blocking again by the Sal's. And that's one thing they do. You see Sal Viscount making a block for Ferrante, and Ferrante does the same thing for Sal. These guys are not only good running backs, but they're also good blockers.
A lot of success on the ground as usual for the Sal's. 2nd down and 1. Viscount again gets hit hard, but able to fall forward inside the 25 to the 23. And it's 1st and 10 for the Sal's. Now, Kevin, one of the things that has made Bridie Breidenbach successful is that he is very adept at selling the play-action pass, and it's been nothing but the ground game. They don't throw a whole lot, but they're definitely using this running game to eventually set up the pass.
Well, you know what will happen? It'll surprise you and me and our camera guy tonight when they do throw, because they lull you to sleep with this running game. And by the way, St. Marks is doing a great job of bending but not breaking here on the Sal's offense.
Slot right this time. Ware again goes in motion on 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Ferrante, the fullback. Olsen gets a handful of him inside the 20 at the 18, a pickup of 5 more. It's 2nd down and 5.
St. Marks digging in on defense here. You know what? If you can make the Sal's go this long a drive to score, you're going to have a chance to stay in this ball game. Ferrante right there barreling forward, and Sal Viscount in the open field. They are threats to go all the way. So St. Marks Spartans doing a great job of keeping them bottled up and contained at least.
And the Sal's chewing up a lot of the first quarter clock. They'll eat up some more here, as again it's Ferrante, Ryan McCallum, Corey Olsen combined to make the hit at the 16-yard line.
Jason Avioli in there also. Good stop by the Spartans. Now they really need to make a play here on 3rd and about 3, and then again probably 4th and short, and make a stop. They've really got to make a stop here. Like you said, Steve, the time just slips away when you're running the ball this effectively and without any penalties.
Pushing 3.5 minutes to play in a scoreless first quarter. 3rd and 3. Discount again. Hit quickly by Hagan and Beatty at the 14-yard line. It's going to be 4th and a yard.
Really great play there by Jamie Hagan coming up from his corner spot to make that tackle. And, you know, he's a senior. He knows that 3rd and short, they're going to be giving the ball to South Viscount most likely. And he was on top of that and read the play. And here we go. 4th and less than a yard.
The Sal's will talk it over on a 4th and 1. 3:11 to play in the first quarter in Wilmington. There is no score.
Getting your home ready for the holidays is a big deal, but Empire makes it easier with our hassle-free holiday sale. Save 50% on the best brand names in carpet. If you call right now, we'll bring a great selection to choose from and install next day. You'll save 50% with no payments till 2009. Even get a free turkey. Beautiful carpet, 50% off, no hassles. Call today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
How am I supposed to find a job without a baby?
Life is full of problems, but finding help shouldn't be one of them. Call 211. It's free, confidential, and you can call anytime, day or night. 211. Get help. Get answers.
If you're thinking about ditching your kitchen, you won't want to miss
our floor tile installation, lighting design, and our visit to a state-of-the-art granite facility. Ditchin' My Kitchen, Sunday at 11 p.m., only on CN8.
3:11 to play first quarter. 4th down and a yard for Salesianum.
Little confusion in the backfield.
No confusion as to who gets the football, however, as Viscount able to bounce it outside, and he will have enough for another first down. So he'll be marked down at the 11-yard line. They convert their second 4th down on the drive, and that was the 13th play of this possession.
You know, great job by both sides. I mean, the Sal's getting it done when they've got to, and St.Marks defense, I got to give them a lot of credit right here, really making the Sal's work hard. That was Sal Viscount's 8th carry. I think he's got 32 yards, so they're holding him way under his average so far.
But the Sal's continue to march down the field here, doing it all on the ground. 53 yards so far on the drive. Viscount again gets driven back at the 9-yard line. They can get a first down without getting into the end zone. It's 2nd down and 8.
Number 7, Ryan McCallan, did a great job of closing that down from the outside for Sal Viscount inside, where McCallan knew he had help. That's Viscount's 9th carry, and we're not out of the first quarter yet. At this pace, he's going to carry the ball 40 times.
McCallan making that stop after a gain of 2. Breidenbach has not put the ball into the air on this drive. Again, he sends Ware in motion. Again, it's Viscount crashing off the left side this time, inside the 5. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4, just inside the 5-yard line.
Sal's 10th carry of the first quarter. Plays defense too, by the way.
Officials timeout here. Looks like perhaps an equipment problem for Vince Bonadio.
Steve, St.Marks, if you've been watching, is playing 4-4 here, and it looks more like a 9-man in the box, and that's what you would expect with the Sal's running the ball so effectively. They'll have 9 in there.
Mondays this fall, it's players only out of bounds at 7. Scott Zolak, Brian Mitchell, Ray Lucas, and Gary Cobb. An all-pro team. They brought it on the field. Now they take it out of bounds. That's Pro Night on Monday and Out of Bounds on Sports every weeknight at 7 and 11. Right here on CN8, the Comcast Network. Bill DiNardo's team with a 3rd and 4 at the 5-yard line. Viscount again will come up short. Pick up of a yard to the 3, and it's another 4th and 2 yards to go.
Jason Aviola again on the tackle. The linebackers very active for St. Marks tonight. Aviola, number 53, number 52, Corey Olson, their leading tackler, doing a great job making the Sal's work for this score.
Less than a minute to play in the first quarter. One controlled by the Sal's offense.
Our third, fourth, and short situation in this drive, Steve. You don't see that very often.
They will go for it. Let's see if Viscount gets it again. It will be Viscount trying to get to the outside. And Viscount does not get into the end zone, but he could have picked up a first down.
St. Marks guys are saying no, but I think it's going to be very close. And it looked from here, we're a little far away. It looks like he may have the first down, but they're going to measure for it. It's that close.
Referee Ed Jackson will bring the chains onto the field here with 31 seconds to play in the first quarter. It's either first and goal or first and 99. It'll be first and goal for the Sal's. They convert another 4th down opportunity.
This is amazing when your own offense only has the ball 3 plays in the first quarter, and that's all St. Mark's offense has had it.
Plus 2 penalties in there as well.
Yes.
Viscount 12 carries on the opening drive. See, 3.5 yards, though. That's well below what he has done on the season. And he averages 7 yards a carry. But it's first and goal at the 1. This time, Ferrani, the fullback, will get the carry, and he is in for his 5th touchdown of the season, scoring from 1 yard out in a most impressive drive by the Sal's.
Full house backfield. They're probably looking for Sal Viscount, and that's what's nice about having this sophomore there. They can get the job done. Ferrani just got his pad level low there, pulled his way in, and got the touchdown.
Trying with the extra point. Breidenbach is the holder. Trying 22 out of 24 in extra points this season. This kid has plenty of leg, and he hits the extra point with 9 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Sal's lead at 7-0.
Here's the touchdown. Full house. Everybody's blocking. Everybody's expect to block, and they just blow St. Mark's off the ball here for the touchdown. But St. Mark's, 18 plays, 64 yards. They made the Sal's work for that 6 points.
Never really had a big play on the entire scoring drive. They just kept chipping away, converted 3 4th downs, and took up nearly 10 minutes of the first quarter.
That's a long time to be on the field as a defense.
And not one pass, 18 running plays.
The other thing is, it's really hard defensively when you give up 4 4th down first downs. I know they were all short, but it kind of, can get to your psyche a little bit, break your morale when you let those 4th downs. And you got to have one of those along the way. You got to stop to, get charged up again.
Tryon will tee it up for the second time. Hagan and Sullivan are deep for the Spartans. St. Mark's in the green, moving from right to left here in the first quarter. Certainly John Wilson is hoping his offense a lot more settled on the second possession than it was on the first one. They will get the ball back after that scoring drive. Sullivan from the 6. Breaks 1 tackle. Can't slip through the second across the 25-yard line. He's tripped up by Ferrandi, who scored the touchdown and then makes the tackle on special teams.
And if any of you television watchers out there think you're seeing something tonight when Sullivan kicks the ball with both feet or throws it with both hands, he is the backup quarterback. He does that. He does it. He's ambidextrous.
We are through one period at Baynard Stadium. Salesianum leads at 7-0. Back with the second quarter in just a moment.
When you buy car insurance from Safe Auto, you get low monthly payments, convenient ways to pay, and friendly licensed agents. So how much money do you need to actually start a policy? Well, considering we'll gladly accept a post-dated check, over the phone no less, the answer's simple. Not 1 red cent.
1-800-SAFE-AUTO. We keep you legal for less.
Call now.
college basketball fans, tip off the season with a slam dunk. Don't miss the Philly Hoop Group Classic, a premier college basketball event Thanksgiving weekend at the historic Palestra. See local sensation Sean Singletary of the University of Virginia and stars from Penn, Drexel, and others. The first annual Philly Hoop Group Classic, November 23rd and 24th. Tickets are just $25. Call 215-898-6151 or online at hoopgroup.com.
Call 1-888-COMCAST to order today for $169.
Start of the second quarter, Salesianum leading St. Marks by a score of 7-0. Coming up tonight at 9:30, it's CN8 Primetime Fights. Mike Jones has dispatched every opponent put in front of him in extreme fashion with 11 wins and 11 straight knockouts. He stands to be the next big thing out of Philadelphia in the welterweight division. But now he faces his toughest challenge to date as he takes on the very durable journeyman, Pito Cardona. From the new Alhambra in Philly, it's CN8 Primetime Fights tonight at 9:30. Sullivan nearly made an acrobatic catch at the 40-yard line, could not come up with it. Off his hands. And for St. Marks and quarterback Brandon Baker, it'll be a 2nd down and 10 from their own 27-yard line.
And you can see the St. Marks quarterbacks will throw the football, trying to look for Sullivan there. Jamie Hagan behind him. I think he was throwing to Sullivan as primary receiver. It was hard to say because two receivers were about the same 5-yard area.
Hagan split out way to the right this time for Baker. 2nd down and 10. DeMacy the lone setback. Beatty on a wing left. He'll go in motion. Another penalty. I believe that offensive line started too quickly again. This will be the 3rd procedure flag against the Spartans.
And see, the Spartans can ill afford to have these kind of mistakes. They're getting so few offensive plays now. And this puts them in the hole, makes it 2nd and 15.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
So it's now 5 plays from scrimmage, including a punt, and 3 penalties.
You can't get any momentum with that.
Down 7-0 early in the second quarter. Sal's have won 4 straight in this series. Early lead tonight. Baker rolling, nowhere to go. Jeff Vanover with an outstanding play. Vanover, 2nd team All-State linebacker, part of a good defense for the Sals. It'll be 3rd down and long. Greco and Boyd the ends, Barker and Silva the tackles in that 4-man front. McGreevy, Vanover, Fagan, and Malarkey the 4 linebackers. Viscount, Jim Tucker, and Kevin Kilpatrick, the 3 men in the secondary.
Vanover is the guy on defense. You saw him make a good play there. We'll be calling his name a lot tonight.
Vanover out since game 2. He had a nerve injury in his neck and shoulder, making his return tonight. Made a big play there. Loss of 5. It's 3rd and 20. Baker finds Hagan. Hagan gets tripped up from behind by Pat Malarkey. A good open field tackle back at the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 10. It's 4th and 10.
Steve, this was a great play all around. It was a good pass, a good catch across the middle. And Malarkey makes a very good tackle. Otherwise, this goes for first down. For a sophomore, I'll tell you, Baker throws the ball extremely well. Great play by Malarkey. I mean, he just really happened to catch Hagan by the ankles there to bring him down. Otherwise, I think that's a first down.
The senior with his 34th catch of the season. Sullivan with a high wobbly spiral. Viscount on the run at the 44-yard line into St. Marks territory. They'll be knocked out of bounds at the 45. A Return of 11, 1st and 10 for the Sal's, who lead 7-0, and as of now find themselves in a position to again qualify for the state playoffs. Power points always an important thing. And right now St. Marks on the outside looking in. The top 6 go.
St. Marks has got a chance with a win tonight, but they won't control their destiny. But without a win, they're nowhere. Salesianum loses tonight. They lose control. They could still get in, but it won't be controlled by them.
Our playoff point standings, courtesy of dpreps.com. 1st and 10 from the 45. Ferranti gets hit as soon as he takes the handoff. Mike Kemsky, the 6'2 junior, into the backfield for a loss of a yard.
What a great play by Kemsky. That's what they need to do to stop the Sal's here from continuing to roll. And you see right here, nobody blocked him. Well, if nobody blocks you, you should make a play like that, but he didn't miss it. And that's a great play there by the tackle.
2nd down and 11. And this is what you want to try to do to the Sal's. Get them in long yardage situations and force them to throw the football. And also John Wilson wanted to get in front and make them change their game plan. Right now, though, the Spartans are trailing 7-0. Right back to Viscount. Gets in low behind that line of scrimmage and still continues to surge forward to the 40-yard line. He'll pick up 6, bringing up a 3rd down and 5.
And he probably picked up 2 or 3 yards just pushing that pile, just keeping his feet going. And you know, St. Marks has got to bring him down when they make that initial contact. This is going to bring up 3rd and 5. And be on the lookout now for the play action. Here's when they like to sneak it in here.
Viscount, excellent student, has had good SAT scores, does well in the classroom. Northwestern, James Madison, Delaware, and a host of Patriot League teams on his recruiting trail. Viscount, a 5'11", 185-pound senior. He's the tailback on a 3rd and 5. And he will get the carry one more time, and he will not pick up the 1st down. Another tackle by Corey Olson, number 52. So already 3 for 3 and 4th down conversions. It'll be 4th and 2.5 here for the Sal's.
I was talking to some of the St. Marks coaches. I asked them if they were going to spy on Viscount. They wouldn't say so, but I believe, after watching now a quarter a little bit, that Corey is the spy right now on Sal Viscount.
And for the 2nd time, facing a 4th and short, Bill DiNardo and the Sal's will take a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 8:38 to play 2nd quarter. Salesianum leads it 7-0.
Getting your home ready for the holidays is a big deal, but Empire makes it easier with our hassle-free holiday sale. Save 50% on the best brand names in carpet. If you call right now, we'll bring a great selection to choose from and install next day. You'll save 50% with no payments till 2009. Even get a free turkey. Beautiful carpet, 50% off, no hassles. Call today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. We went around swapping people's vehicles for 1 week. We didn't tell them we were from Ford. We told them it was market research.
Oh, it's a new Taurus, all-wheel drive too, wow. I think the all-wheel drive for safety helps. I saw that it had the 6 airbags, especially the side curtain airbag. And that's extremely important to me, especially having a family. You gotta go look at a Ford and try it out.
Swap your ride. Now lease an all-new Ford Taurus for just $269 a month. Visit your Quality Plus Ford dealer or go to FordChallenge.com.
8:38 to play 2nd quarter. Salesianum leads at 7-0, facing a 4th down and 2.5. Ware goes in motion. Viscount gets the carry, and this time he gets stepped up, and he will not pick up the 1st down. Excellent job defensively by the Spartans. Joe Drain, number 28, leads the charge. McCowan in there as well. The Spartans get it on downs. 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Great play by the Spartans, anticipating that Sal Viscount would be carrying the ball, and you can't count on that with Ferranti back there, but they did a great job, and they needed to do that. We talked about it in the 1st quarter. That'll give that defense a little pickup going into the next series.
Now let's see if it maybe sparks the offense a little bit. An offensive unit that has really struggled here in the 1st half. Down 7-0 with 8:32 to play in the 2nd quarter. Sullivan in motion. Handoff straight ahead to DeMacy. And DeMacy, very little operating room, maybe a yard on the play. Mike Fagan, Jeff Vanover with the tackle, 2nd and 9.
Part of the Spartans' offensive game plan tonight was to run the ball a little more to set up the pass. They felt that they hadn't done a good job of setting the pass up, but they're going to have to get 2 or 3 or 4 yards on a play like that in order to make that pass option effective.
Both teams coming in here on different notes. St. Marks upset by William Penn last week, 17-7, while the Sal's defeated previously unbeaten Middletown a week ago, 21-14. St. Marks, a bit of a struggle here early on. Baker, play action. Looking for Sullivan. It's overthrown out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
I really like Baker's athleticism. He's been the starting quarterback since the 3rd game of the season. Sullivan was injured, was the starting quarterback, and he's shown real leadership as a sophomore. But he got hit in the arm, I believe, right here. Let's see the pressure, the really good pressure here by the Sal's defense, not allowing him to set up. And I think maybe he wasn't hit, but that ball had way too much air under it.
Sullivan drifting out of bounds, unable to make the catch.
This is a really big play for the Spartans. They need to get a 1st down here.
They do not have one. 3rd and 9. At their own 37-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Baker, good protection this time. Throws for Sullivan, who makes a juggling attempt but cannot hang on at midfield. Had it for a moment, incomplete. It would have been enough for a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th and 9.
I thought he had it there for a second. Ball thrown only where he could catch it. Nice play here by Baker. Sullivan may have looked up a little too soon before he had to put it away. He probably had a hand in there too, but that was a very catchable football.
Baker has to hustle off the field. Sullivan in punt formation. Viscount and Tucker are back deep. Tucker calls for the fair catch, and he'll make it at the 29-yard line. That's where the Sal's will have it. With 7:32 to play in the first half, they lead it 7-0. Next Saturday at 12:30 p.m., Varsity Game Day returns to Philly to bring you the Pennsylvania District 12 Championship. See the top 2 teams in the Public League fight it out for the right to represent the city of Philadelphia in the Pennsylvania State Playoffs. That's Varsity Game Day, next Saturday afternoon at 12:30, only on CN8, the Comcast Network.
Billy DiNardo, Sally's head coach now for a couple of years.
He's won 5 state titles, 3 in Division II at Middletown, the last 2 years in Division I with the Sal's. Ferrani gets the carry on 1st down, gets it close to the 30, pickup of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. You know, he was at Middletown. He also got to 2 other finals that he didn't win, so he knows what it's all about to play into November and win championships.
One of the best coaches in the state, has really gotten the Sally's program back on track after a couple of years where they got mediocre, to tell you the truth.
Huge difference in total yards. The Sal's 73-8 the advantage. Breidenbach will keep. Has a big hole. 1st down into St. Marks territory. Finally dragged out of bounds by Joe Drain at the 35-yard line.
Not exactly
35 on the play.
Not exactly Breidenbach's bread and butter here, a running play, but you can see once he got in the open field, he shows a little athleticism of picking them up and putting them down. That was a that was a prescribed play there. He's holding that ball a little loosely. Man, I tell you what, he ought to tuck that away, but nice play by Bridie.
He's coming back from the store with a loaf of bread in his hands. Great fake to try him, too. Had the defense following the running back.
Tall drink of water, 6'3".
1st and 10 for Salesianum at the St. Marks 35-yard line. Play action. Will he put it up for the first time? He will. And it is an outstanding catch by Ferrani. Then he gets hit after the play, and that may cost the Spartans 15 more.
I told you that's when you least expected they throw a pass. That one wasn't wide open. As you see here, he had a little bit of pressure, threw behind the player, and once you're down in high school football, you're down, and you can see the late hit.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. 15 yards at the end of the run, give them an automatic 1st down.
This will take
Marks really hurting themselves with penalties here.
Inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark it all the way down to the 14. 1st and 10 for the Sal's. 6:21 to play in the half. They're trying to build on that 7-0 lead.
Steve, you mentioned this earlier. St. Marks has only 10 seniors on this team. The Sal's with 32. Big difference, I guess, in the experience level, and that's probably the cause of some of these penalties.
And now St. Marks will take a timeout here on defense. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sal's at the 14-yard line. John Wilson yesterday, when I talked to him on the phone, crediting his defensive coordinator Lee Sibley. He's been around a long time. So he does a great job. He's also the basketball coach.
He's one of the best. This is the kind of guy that you'd want your kid to be coached by. He's been coaching this defensive unit for St. Marks for a long time, and he's an excellent high school basketball coach.
Sal's coming in on a 4-game winning streak tonight, 6-3 on the season. Won the first 2, then 3 straight losses before going on this current run.
Yeah, and 2 of them were like 20-7 over Hodgkin, and Malvern Pratt come in here and just gave them a whipping, 38-0. But they got back on track, and last week they beat the #1 team in the state, Middletown, to really get their hopes buoyed.
St. Marks at 5-4. That upset last week to William Penn snapped a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, and they've had some close games too. 33-29 loss to Newark. Could have been a win, and I'll tell you, it's could have been, should have been. This team could be in the playoffs with just one of those 2 games turned around as a win.
All those facts and figures courtesy of DEPreps.com, where you can find a lot of fantastic information on athletics in the state of Delaware. Viscount will get the carry on 1st down. He'll pick up 3 to the 11, 2nd down and 7.
St. Marks defense still doing a very good job of protecting against the run here. Like I said, most of the time they've got 8, sometimes 9 guys in the box. But they're holding Viscount to under 4 yards a carry so far, Steve, which is just incredible at this point.
Sal getting his yards because Salesianum has had the football for most of this first half. Breidenbach will again give to Viscount, carrying 2 tacklers inside the 5 to the 3. He took McKeefrey and Olson for a ride there, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
And you can see him running behind his blockers right here, coming off the blocks when things got jammed up, moving forward, protecting the ball, all important there. Just moving where there's an open hole, protecting the football, gets to the 3-yard line.
1st and goal. No wide receivers on this set. Ferrani, who scored the touchdown, gets an opportunity here. Aviola will make the tackle, however.
We've called his name a lot. Number 53, Aviola, has been very active, read that play really well. You could tell from our standpoint, at least I could, that Ferrani was a little bit deeper than Sal Viscount, which usually means he's going to get the ball. But from the linebacker standpoint, you can't see that. There you see Aviola in there with Olson as the 2 middle linebackers doing a real nice job.
No gain on the play. 2nd and goal from the 3. Just over 4.5 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. Breidenbach will keep. Spoons off a tackler and is into the end zone for a touchdown. Bridie Breidenbach with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. This one from 3 yards out.
Well, they ran it to the left, then they ran it to the right. You know, you start to get mesmerized by Ferrani and Sal Viscount. They had them go to the left this time. It was just a naked bootleg. He had 1 blocker out there, and Breidenbach takes it in from 3 yards out.
Breidenbach will stay in as the holder. And trying the point after attempt. Chance to make it a 14-point game with 4:25 to play in the 2nd quarter. Good snap, plenty of leg, and it is 14-0 Sal's. They've thrown 1 time in the first half, and this guy's done a great job.
All the action goes left. Breidenbach just a naked bootleg to the right. St. Marks, with the exception of Jamie Hagan, they were all following the running backs. Nice play by Breidenbach.
4:25 to play in the half. Sal's up 14-0. This St. Marks offense needs to get something going in a hurry.
Right now, you're exactly right. St. Marks only 8 yards total offense. There's Brady Breidenbach.
Quick drive this time, only 7 plays to go 71 yards.
6'3", 175-pound junior. He'll be back next year. He can throw the ball too if they let him. Like I said, St. Marks was only 8 yards so far in offense. Salesianum with 125.
Sullivan on the left, Hagan on the right, the return men trying to kick it off for the Sal's. Spartans could use some good field position here. High short kick this time. Hagan at the 9. Hagan through that first wave, loses the football, and they're still scrambling at the bottom of the pile. There was a green shirt getting there first. Doesn't mean he still has the football when they untangle. And he doesn't. It's recovered by the Sal's. Kevin Kilpatrick, the senior, has the football, and Salesianum in great shape here, up by 2 touchdowns, and starting at the St. Marks 25-yard line.
Jamie Hagan takes the ball, trying to make a play, following his blockers. Looks like and he hit his own man. His own man's helmet, knocked the ball out. Looked like he had some room there for some further yards, but he ran into the back of one of his own football players, and the ball was knocked out. What a bad break for the Spartans.
It's been that type of half for St. Marks, and now that defense, which has been on the field a long, long time, will try and dig in here. Ferrani spins off the initial hit. Aviola and Beatty will put him away at the 19-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4 for the Sal's. Don't forget that the game you're watching right now and all CN8 high school and college football broadcasts are available free to all Comcast customers on video on demand. Just click Get Local.
Well, the St. Marks defense has really got to dig in and make a stop here.
Viscount quickly veers it to the outside. Flag on the play. Sal still on his feet to the 5. Will roll into the end zone, but will check on the flag, which was thrown in the area of offensive holding.
This is going to go against the Sal's. Viscount, though, a wasted good run by Sal Viscount, following blocks, making good moves, and powering into the end zone. You saw all the good traits that he possesses right there in one run.
Flag thrown at the 16-yard line.
That's what the call is, holding.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty for a spotted foul. Repeat, second down.
So instead of 6 points, it'll be a second down and 11 for Salesianum.
We're going to find out who the culprit was here. There's Sal getting the ball, getting ready to get the ball. We couldn't see it from our angle, but there you could see the skill set of Sal Viscount, following his block, keeping his balance, and powering into the end zone.
Play action, Breidenbach throwing down the middle, wide open for a touchdown to Ryan Kavanaugh.
Well, our cameraman caught it. That was good, because I tell you that they'll just lull you to sleep with this running game, and then a play action pass, and you usually have somebody wide open. But Brady Breidenbach threw that ball right on the money.
26 yards to Kavanaugh, who makes just his 3rd catch of the year, his 1st for a touchdown. And Breidenbach has now rushed for a score, and he has thrown for one, his 5th touchdown pass of the season, and that was a well-thrown strike.
Great play action, as we'll see in a moment, but you just catch everybody off guard when you're running the ball that effectively. What a great play to call. It's 2nd and 20.
There was a flag in the end zone after the play, I believe, for a, quote, excessive celebration penalty.
After the touchdown, we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
If we can get a shot at the Coach DiNardo, that kind of stuff upsets him tremendously. Whether it's good news or bad news on the play, he doesn't want to see any of his guys. There's the coach. Somebody's going to hear about it, I'll tell you that.
This will end up being a 34-yard extra point for Tryon. This one hooking to the left, and it does not go between the uprights. So it had the distance, not the direction. 3:29 to play in the second quarter. Remains 20-0 Sal's.
And here comes our play. Play action. Kavanaugh just running free. You catch the guys in the defensive backfield. They're only playing 3 back. They get caught up in the play action. They should be playing pass first, and Kavanaugh had no problem getting behind them. Ball was thrown a little high, but right on target where Kavanaugh could catch it. Nice strength right there. Actually a very good pass.
So right after making it 14-0, the Sal's recover the fumble on the ensuing kickoff. Had a touchdown called back and then answer quickly. 3 plays, 25 yards in less than a minute to make it 20-0.
Well, this is unusual for a Salesianum game to have Sal Viscount not the hero in the first half. It's been Bridie Breidenbach. 2 running touchdowns. We saw him run for a 35-yard scamper, and now a touchdown pass.
Viscount doing the grunt work. Breidenbach getting the glory. He's trying, will kick it off. Hagan will get another opportunity here. Back deep for the Spartans. He is joined by Kyle Sullivan. High and short again. Hagan just inside the 10. We'll try the right side this time. And across the 30, out to the 32-yard line. A 24-yard return, 1st and 10 for the Spartans with 3:22 to play in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, special interview with DEPreps.com sports writer Rich Long. Kevin and I will also take a look at the first half highlights, and we'll get Kevin's thoughts on what might happen here in the second half at Baynard Stadium in Wilmington, Delaware. Right now, nearly a must-score situation here for John Wilson and the Spartans, down by 20 points here in the second quarter. 164 to 8 in total yards. The Spartans do not have a first down. Baker, play action. Throwing for Sullivan, and it's tipped. Mike McGreevy, freshman linebacker, got a hand on it. 2nd down and 10.
Nice play by McGreevy. Not a badly thrown ball. Could have been a nice pass reception. Just got a mid on the pass and deflected it a little bit. I really like Brandon Baker as a quarterback for a sophomore. He's got a lot of poise. He's a really good athlete. He's going to be a good quarterback for them in the years to come.
Hagan will be split out to the left. 1 catch for 10 yards here in the first half. Sal showing blitz. Try a quick hitter straight ahead. Matt Lennon gets the carry. It'll be 3rd down and long. Be at the 34-yard line. It's 3rd and 8.
You know, St. Marks has just really got to work on now getting a first down.
Hagan will go to the left. Sullivan will be in a slot right inside McKeefery. Baker for Sullivan into double coverage and overthrown. It's 4th down and 8.
Sal's had a blitz on that time, probably the right call, but Sullivan couldn't get behind anybody and the ball was thrown long. Baker probably could have held on to that ball for another half a second before he let it go, but you know that blitz was coming.
The Sal's have 1 timeout remaining, 2:32 to play, and this incompletion brings up a punt.
You can see the nice arm that he's got. Well thrown ball, just overthrown that time.
Sullivan in punt formation again. Viscount and Tucker are the deep men. Another great spiral. Viscount at the 30-yard line, dancing his way across the 35 to the 38. A return of 8 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sal's, up by 20. 2 programs that have been able to hold the state trophy on several occasions. Salesianum 5 titles, including the last 2 years under Bill DiNardo, and St. Marks has been the champ 3 times.
That was under the coaching of Donnie Borowski back in the early days of St. Marks, and they came out of St. Marks. They came out of the chute, and they were tough.
These 2
right off the bat
in the semifinals last year. Salesianum a 14-0 win. Any of those state titles belong to you, partner?
We didn't have state titles back in the day.
Ferrani on first down. Across the 40 to the 44, picks up 6. That opens up all kinds of questions. That was an 18 what?
That concept started in 1972. I got to believe that 1968 was my last year here. We were undefeated, and so was Newark. And there was a lot of controversy over who was number 1 in the state. How could you tell? We didn't play each other, and so the wheels in motion got started for the state tournament, and it happened in 1972. There's Billy DiNardo. He is really a good coach.
Ferrani again, he is seeing his share of carries. He'll get slammed to the ground. Chaz Molesky got the first hit, close to a first down here at the 48-yard line. Clock continues to run, under a minute and a half to play, and now our referee Ed Jackson will call timeout for a measurement.
Steve, as much as this Spartan defense has been on the field, they are still playing with a lot of aggressiveness right now. That was a play right there that you could see they were not about to give up any long runs, and they're going to make the Sows fight for every play they get. As a matter of fact, with